What's up, everybody, and welcome to a single special edition of the Fly High podcast, brought to you by Bombardier. My name is Shazib, and I'm proud to announce today's sponsor, Bombardier, Canada's premier manufacturing company for trains and private jets. Today, I'm going to discuss with y'all yet another book called The Book Thief, and answer the question, how does the child or children of your novels see the world around them? In your opinion, does this view of the world help or hinder them? But before we get into that, we have a news corner brought to you by Emirates, the official airline of the NBA and its fans. Firstly, our prayers go out to those suffering from the fires in LA. Secondly, Capture the Flag lives as the Toronto Raptors continue to lose, now dropping to an 8-30 record. Oof. The Oilers have found their stride, improving to the second spot in the Pacific Division. And the Maple Leafs are first in their division, but will they disappoint? I think so. No sponsor for the topic of the day, so we'll get right into it. The Book Thief by Markus Zusak explores the life of a young Jew girl named Liesel during the hardship of the Nazis in World War II. Like I did last time, I'm going to say a quote and explain why it either helps or hinders Liesel's viewpoint of the world. The first quote I have is from the narrated death on page 129. It says, "Criminal activity will do that to a person, especially a child." I said it helps Liesel because she felt like a criminal at first, but she gained more confidence to do something that she loves, and that is reading. And for her to get to that stage, she needed the books, so she had to steal. Even though stealing wrong and highly discouraged, I feel that Liesel is doing something wrong for her own benefit, and it truly helps her viewpoint of the world. Like British of the survival, like survival of the British in that sense, you know what I'm saying? The evidence of this is her soccer friend Rudy, who accompanied her for this, and they developed a bond, and she found happiness, and happiness helps a child's viewpoint, always. The next quote I have can be found all over the book, but a particular example is on page 244, and it's by Rosa Haberman, and it's said by Rosa Haberman. I do not know how to pronounce it, so I won't pronounce it, but it means male pig. And I'm just going to say that this word hinders Liesel's viewpoint right off the bat, because it is an abusive word that is used in an abusive way. Rosa, Liesel's stepmom, uses this word a lot, and very abusively as well. And this isn't good, and it develops a bad habit, and it develops bad stuff. Liesel developed a bad habit of using it, especially towards her own friends, which isn't healthy for a friendly relationship and isn't good for her going forwards. Right? The next, now, on page 347, Hans Haberman, Liesel's stepfather, or Papa, as she says, Hans Haberman says, "Good Lord, another one." This helps Liesel's viewpoint because it showcases good in other beings, and in this case, it was her parents hiding Max, a prisoner of the Holocaust, away from the Nazis. This act of heroism helps Liesel see the good in the world through her father's actions, especially in that time where survival is really all you can do. My next couple quotes definitely hinders Liesel's viewpoint on not just the world, but particularly people. The first quote, Liesel says herself on page 359. She says, "At least he hasn't painted himself black again." This quote hinders Liesel's viewpoints because it portrays a type of people in a negative connotation, which was the belief of the war at the time. And that, in a sense, doesn't help Liesel's viewpoint as well. The next one I have is "All my life I've been scared of men standing over me," on page 224 by Max Brandenburg. In this part, Max shares his vulnerability and his fear, reflecting on his experience as a Jewish man and during the Nazi Germany. I say this because I found this moment helps broaden Liesel's understanding of fear and vulnerability, and helps her viewpoint in a strength that's showing that even strong can feel scared. This helps her empathize with Max, strengthening her connection to him and her awareness of the injustice around the world. And now this next quote, "The sirens begin to howl" on page 201, is important. The bombing raids on Himmel Street disrupt daily life, and this moment definitely hinders Liesel's perception of safety and normalcy. It reinforces the danger and instability of living in wartime Germany and Europe for that matter of fact, in there. The fear and chaos and brought by the raids become a turning point in how she views life and death. So that hinders her viewpoint. Like, she gets scared, you know? And now the next quote I have is by Rudy Steiner. And it starts on page 371, and it says, come on, Liesel, don't be like that. What's the worst that can happen? What do bombs do? Rudy speaks to Liesel about the risks they faced during the bombings, which, let's be real, it's a grim reality of war. While it provides a brief moment of, humor, it hinders Liesel's idea of safety yet again, and that's scary. Now, my second last quote, Die Juden, or which direct translation is "the Jews" on page 390, said by an old lady. This is a racist comment reflecting on the pervasive anti-Semitic views in Nazi Germany. This definitely hinders Liesel's world point of view as she is exposed to the hate-filled ideologies around her. Contrasts simply with her growing bond with Max, making her question the moral fabric of her society. Not also is that, but Liesel is Jew, so she also feels hurt and questions herself with these types of stuff, which also hinders her even more. And now, for my last quote, on page 394, "The sky was whipped with tinges of yellow burning filth." This is a very difficult scene for a child to see. That even if an adult, they'll be able to see and they'll be traumatized. Imagine a child saw this. This is Liesel describing the aftermath of a bombing raid. A heartbreaking moment that impacts Liesel because she lost her parents, her step-parents. It realistically, because she lost her parents, it hinders her ability to see the world as a safer and beautiful place. It solidifies her understanding of how devastating and costly war is, particularly when she loses her lost ones. When this happens, especially if a child saw this, they'd hate the world, and it will cause them to go into a lot of PTSD or face revenge, like wanting to kill those who have harmed them. We were fortunate enough for Liesel. In this case, she turned out alright, but it hinders her ability to see the world as a safe and friendly place, especially for her type of people, which is Jew. Now, coming to an end with our very quick podcast, we have our ending sponsor, brought to you by Colgate. 10 out of 10 dentists recommend, so use it. It's good for your teeth. Now, getting back to the topic, I'm going to be really real with y'all. This was by far the best book I have ever read, and it is an easy 100 out of 10. It was so good, very grippy. I really cannot recommend this book enough. It was that good. Now, I don't really have a favorite part of the book because each part was so different and yet enjoyable that I really cannot pinpoint a particular one. So all I can really say is now, remember to fasten your seatbelts, no smoking, but most importantly, fly high and fly safe. Until then, Shazib is signing off.